A scary finding on toothpaste this week: Colgate Total, which is one of the most popular toothpaste brands in the world, contains a chemical called triclosan. Triclosan is a antimicrobial that helps with gingivitis, but apparently it's also linked with cancer and abnormal development. And we've known about this for quite some time, and yet the FDA approved Colgate Total. Now it's all coming out. Pages that were hidden by, apparently, the FDA during the whole approval process have just been released. And it turns out, Lisette...
Whoa. I want to stop you right there, because you just said pages that were hidden by the FDA. So are you saying they were complicit in this?
It seems...
I mean, this is crazy. This is really upsetting me right now. The FDA essentially was saying, oh, this looks like it's something really bad, but hey, Colgate will help you out.
You should be upset. And you should be upset because even if the FDA wasn't malicious, and there's no way for us to know if they were actively trying to hide it or if they just did, but we should know that there's triclosan in our toothpaste. And to your point, I think what you're getting at is that so many people use Colgate.
I use it. I have like 4 tubes at home. I go to Costco and I buy packs of it, and I buy it specifically because it has triclosan.
Then this one's for you, Lisette. Because after a Freedom of Information request and a lawsuit, the agency just released the pages earlier this year, and the findings were disturbing. Here's what they found. Studies showed fetal bone malformations in mice and rats, a signal that triclosan is disrupting the endocrine system and therefore their development. The FDA asked questions about the thoroughness of the science. It wasn't clear whether those were really addressed, and the FDA relied on Colgate's science in its approval process, meaning they left it to the company to do a lot of the research, and as we know, a lot of company-backed science usually just ends up in support of the product because they want to bring it to market.
Of course.
So the bigger debate here is that we know that triclosan is dangerous in animals, at least. It's not a huge leap to think that it's dangerous to humans, although we do need studies that firmly establish that. To be fair, Colgate turns around and says, what do they say? In the nearly 18 years that Colgate Total has been on the market in the US, there has been no signal of a safety issue from adverse events reports.
Yes, but of course it's incredibly difficult to pinpoint adverse effects from one chemical in a toothpaste that you use all the time, right? So things happen. We see cancer rates going up, and there are so many factors that contribute to that. Doesn't mean that this isn't one of the factors. It doesn't mean it is, but we need to rely on studies that are actually independent studies without a bias agenda behind it in order to figure out whether or not something's going to kill us.
Well,
and we don't have that.
Well, who do we look for to do that? We look to the FDA. The FDA since 1974 was supposed to come out with a conclusive report about triclosan, and they still haven't. Now they're saying that it's going to come out definitively in 2016. A little bit late, I'd say, based on the fact that triclosan is in so many things. And this is part of the problem, is that even if triclosan gets removed from a lot of our everyday consumer products, it is everywhere. It's in bath mats, it's in common household products.
Yeah, it's in
Colgate Palmolive just removed triclosan from its hand soaps, citing changing consumer preferences. Changing consumer preferences being consumers, meaning consumers are getting educated on the fact that triclosan might be linked to cancer and therefore don't want it in their soap. As it turns out, triclosan might not even be necessary. It might not even be more effective than soap and water. So why do we have it in our stuff?
That's a fantastic question, and honestly, I think it's because companies are continuously striving to find the new thing in order to sell a product, right? So, oh, try Colgate with triclosan because it's the only one that fights against gingivitis. We hear these slogans all the time. They're simply trying to find differentiators, right? So they're adding chemicals, ingredients to make a claim in order to get us to buy their product, oftentimes at our expense.
And in this case, that benefit is supposedly fighting against gingivitis, but you don't need triclosan necessarily to fight gingivitis. You might just need good dental health. So is it time to switch? Well, it turns out that consumers are starting to. Colgate lost 2% of its market share last year, and revenue dropped. Tom's of Maine, which Colgate also owns, rose, suggesting that consumers are starting to look for healthier natural options without triclosan. But triclosan is really big business. It started as an antimicrobial surgical scrub, and now it's a $100 million a year business. So there's big stuff at stake here, and that might explain why Colgate's been putting in its products and why the FDA might not want to come out. But 2016, hopefully, we'll know. But we really do need the right science, to Lisette's point. Let us know. Are you angry about this? Would you still use Colgate? Do you worry about triclosan in your products? Or are you just like, whatever, it's everywhere, I'm not going to worry? Let us know in the comment section below. We're really curious to know. And if you haven't already, take a moment and subscribe.